Now, today's session, we would be focusing on meaningful links. So that would be the focus of this session on the remedial English, which is meaningful links. And on the meaningful links, we are going to connect with conjunctions. I use the word connect with conjunctions. So that would be the focus of this session. So we're going to talk about what are conjunctions, what types of conjunctions we have. We're going to take up some examples of conjunctions, and we're going to do some exercises pertinent to this conjunctions. You should understand that when you don't get your remedy for your English, you're going to struggle when it comes to that error correction. So you need to understand exactly the syntax when it comes to the conjunction part in the sentence. So we got to get a good learning where it comes to when we know what is a conjunction, why a conjunction is used, and how a conjunction can be identified, and what ways you can really understand about the conjunction. So let me run through the slides for you so that you get a better understanding on the on conjunctions and have a better learning about a conjunction. So that's what I said. Today's remedial English, which is RE, we call it. It's meaningful links, which is on conjunction, right? So let's look into this particular session. I hope you'll enjoy this session on conjunctions. Now, introduction on conjunctions. What is conjunction? Conjunction, in a simple word, I would say that it is a link, right? Junction, meeting point. So that's the word, connecting the junction, connecting the meeting point, right? And I would say that connecting the clauses, connecting the sentences, so that the sentences has a lot of thought about how meaningfully you are able to convey. So that is what a conjunction, specifics about the word conjunction. Why conjunction means, because as I said, to make a meaningful sentence, you should have a conjunction. And how a conjunction can be identified and can be rectified is through your understanding of the basics of what conjunctions are and the classifications on it. Now, if you were to ask me, how conjunction is being categorized, we have this coordinate conjunctions, subordinating conjunctions, and correlative conjunctions. Now, when I look at this first thing, when I say coordinate, conjunctions, from the word itself, we can understand that it is about coordinating, right? I try to coordinate with my teammate, right? Which means that it is about equal rank, conjunctions of equal rank. For instance, Ramesh and Roy are first cousins of mine. So I'm saying that Ramesh and Roy are first cousins of mine. I don't try to unequalize both of them. I give equal priority for Ramesh and Roy. So I try to give equal rank, equal importance, equal priority for this one. So that's called as coordinating conjunction, simple word. Now, next is about subordinating conjunctions. Look at the word subordinating. Now, subordinating is about saying that you have, it's like the set and subset, which means that ideally your subset has to depend on the set. Very simple. I'm not getting into mathematics. What I'm trying to explain is that you have an ordinate, which is your boss, and on your list you have a subordinate. Ideally, what happens is the subordinate has to depend upon the ordinate, which is the boss, because he has to be dependent. The samely, in the sentence, there will be an independent clause and a dependent clause. A dependent clause, clearly it says it has to depend on the it has to depend on the independent clause. And independent clause doesn't have to depend, because it is independent from each other. The boss doesn't have to depend, right? So that's the point. But the subordinate has to depend upon the main person, right, or the subject. Now, then the third one is about correlative conjunction. The word correlative conjunction is nothing but trying to correlate, right? For instance, of equal importance or equal priority. So that is the word called as correlative conjunctions. So I hope that you understood what are the classes of conjunction. Coordinating conjunctions are nothing but the conjunctions which are of equal priority or equal rank. Subordinating is a conjunction where a sentence is dependent upon other clause, and correlative is more about pairs of conjunctions to join different words or group of words. So you'll get a better understanding on these classes or category of conjunctions when we run through the examples, so that you have a better understanding, better learning on these concepts. Now, as I said, the first category of conjunction, which is coordinating conjunctions. The first type would be like cumulative conjunction. Second one would be alternative conjunction. Third would be like adversative conjunction. Fourth one would be elative conjunction. Now let me understand. Let me make you understand. What this cumulative. Cumulative means it's very simple. Let's look at the summation. Cumulative, right? Total. Very simple words. It's the addition. For instance, if I'm going to say that I have a bike as well as a car, right? So which means cumulatively, right? It's an additional thing that I have. Alternative is very simple. If not this, others, right? So alternatively, you have it. Very simple an example that you can understand. If not, this is not working, that will work. Next is about adversative. Adversative is nothing but contrasting, statement or opposing statement. For instance, Ramesh is a very nice person, right? So it's a nice statement. Ramesh is a very nice person, but he is bad at times. So which means he's a nice person, but he is bad at times. So which means that there is an adversative conjunction, but which says negativity about Ramesh because it is an opposing statement which was supporting his first statement. The fourth one is about elative. Elative is nothing but inference, coordinating conjunction. That's a type of conjunctions on this coordinating conjunction. So let's get started with which I strongly believe that the examples will get you a better learning and a better understanding on the words. Examples of coordinating conjunctions. So let's get into this examples. 2 and 2 makes 4. Now I said we try to classify conjunctions based on cumulative, alternative, adversative, and elative. Right now, try to identify. I'm not going to say the answer for you. 2 and 2 makes 4. It's an addition, right? So 2 and 2 makes 4 is very simple words. It's a cumulative. There is nothing big deal here, difficult to understand. 2 and 2. It's a cumulative. Summation of 2 and 2 makes 4. And 2 and 2 also makes 4. That's the point, right? But cumulative is the addition. I have a bike as well as a car, right? So which I already cited an example saying that for a cumulative coordinating conjunction, you have cumulative. You have both together. I have a bike as well as a car. So that is the cumulative conjunction. You should try to classify it. The idea is saying that I just put it because I said that I've classified conjunctions, and based on the conjunctions, I'm trying to give you some examples so that you can have a learning into it. So we'll just look into this thing, and I hope that you understood what is coordinating conjunction. Based upon that, we try to classify the types of coordinating conjunctions, which I said as cumulative conjunctions, alternative conjunctions, adversative conjunctions, and elative conjunction. We did see some examples also on this, right? Again, further into it, what we try to do is we'll again make furthermore learning into it with good examples. So as I said, the next one is you can either talk or listen. Wonderful. So you can either talk or listen. So you can only do two things. You can either talk or listen. So easily you should be able to classify which type of a conjunction this is. Very simple. I say that you can either talk or listen. So I'm connecting with the word alternative, right? Do this or do that, right? So you can either talk or listen, either or is the alternative, right? Next is neither Ram nor Hari knows the answer. Beautiful. So it's a negative, a negative example. It's neither Ram nor Hari knows the answer. So neither Ram knows it nor Hari knows it. So that has got again an alternative. So both are saying that neither nor. So next thing is about the examples of coordinating conjunctions. Is he's slow but quite accurate. Wonderful. So look at the first part of it. So he is slow. Yes, he is slow. We have a thing before us. He is slow. But which says that is a contrasting statement that's going to follow. He is slow but quite accurate. Here, if you look at it, it is more about the contrasting statement that's made on the first part of the sentence, right? He is slow but quite accurate. Even though he's slow, but he's pretty accurate. So you understood that is about the it's about the adversative or the opposing statement on the conjunction. Next is he is 70, still he is strong. Wonderful, and I would like to be like that. He is 70, still he is strong. When I'm saying he is 70, right? He is 70, still he is strong. So which means that still is again a sort of a contrasting statement to the first statement. He is 70, which we perceive to be an old man's age. Still he is strong, which means that still he is strong. It's a contrasting, opposing statement to the first statement which has been made. So this is a contrasting statement. Conjunction, right? Wonderful. The last example of this coordinating conjunction is he will die some. Wonderful. And always, when men are being called up as mortals, right? Because masculine gender is easy to use it. So when I'm saying, men are mortal, that's the inference, that's the result that we have in front of us. It's a known fact. But when I'm saying he will die someday, for all men are mortal. Now, where does this conjunction? He will die someday, for all men are mortal. We know that men are mortal. Based on that inference, what do I understand? I understand that we will die someday, for all men are mortal. So connecting junction is elative is for, because the inference is made that men are mortal. So that was the idea of the subordinating conjunction, which I said a subordinating conjunction will always have a dependent clause and an independent clause. Independent clause, as the word itself says, that it will not depend on anything, but a dependent clause will be depending upon the independent clause, so that the connecting meaning has a better understanding, better meaningful thought in it. So we'll again get into some more examples of these conjunctions. Right, so this is what we saw it last. So let's get into subordinating conjunctions. Right, subordinating conjunctions is, as I said, it is about depending upon one on the other. So that is okay. Let's look at this first examples. That is the reason why I care. I care because that is the reason. So that is acting as a noun here, right? So that is the reason, which means that is the reason is about caring, right? I have a reason for me. That's the reason I care. Why I care is there is a reason. So which means that it is depending upon why the care happens. The same example. Now, that is a place where he lives. So where he lives is a place. So where he lives is depending upon that place, depending upon that place. That is subordinating, which means that there is an independent clause where he lives, and that is a place is the dependent clause where he lives. Let's move on to the next example, which we said we reached after the train had gone. Now, if you look at it, we reached after the train had gone. So again, we reached after the train. After means the time the train had gone. Again, it's very sad. We reached after the train had gone. The train had gone and we had reached, which means that ideally you should have reached in time before the train had gone. So it is depending, because you'd have to reach in time before the train had gone. So here again, your subordinating conjunction is after, right? So after is the subordinating conjunction, which depends upon your time. Right. Next is she makes friends wherever she goes. Wonderful. She makes friends wherever she goes. So what is that? She makes friends wherever she goes. So wherever she goes, now we know that wherever she goes, right, she makes friends. So it is dependent upon wherever she goes. So wherever again is the point of subordinating this particular conjunction, which I said is about having a dependent clause and an independent clause. Now let's get into furthermore into examples of subordinating conjunctions, right? First sentence, it would be like, he may participate as he is a member. Right now, the bigger question is, where do I find the conjunction? I've already given some examples, and I'm trying for you to understand, which is your coordinating, subordinating conjunction. So very simple. He may participate as he is a member. Yes, he is a member. That is the reason that he may participate. So here, the subordinating conjunction is may, right? He may participate as he is member. Next is we eat so that we may live happily. Yes, the reason why we eat, why we may live happily is that we should eat. So that is a point. We eat so that is your subordinating, conjunction, so that you can live happily, right? Next question. Next example is he was so tired that he could not walk. Yes, look at it. He could not walk because there was a reason. Reason is being tired. Now, what is a connecting junction, conjunction, which I'm saying subordinating conjunction? Is it so? Right, that's the word. So is the right connecting link for this particular sentence. Okay, next question is, I will go if the rain stops. We already know that, if is a condition. Yeah, if Ramesh comes, I will also go. So that's a condition that I'm putting, if, right, if clause. So if I'm looking at the subordinating conjunction, it is depending upon the rain. I will go until and unless the rain goes. So I'll say that I'll go if the rain stops. So it is depending upon the rain that I will go, putting a condition of if. So if is your subordinating conjunction. The fifth example of the subordinating conjunction is, I will buy the book though it is costly. Wonderful. The book is very costly, but still I will book. Always books are nice to read and enrich your skill, your knowledge, right? So what we try to do is, I will buy the book. So which means that, I will buy the book though it is costly. Though is you have conceded. Yes, I'm going to get the book, though it is costly. You have considered it is costly. So though is your subordinating conjunction, which says that it is depending upon, I will buy the book because I want the book, and though it is costly. Next question is, he worked harder than I expected. So look at this word. He worked harder than I expected. Now, if you look at this word, he worked harder than I expected. It's more about the comparatives that I'm trying to bring about, he and I, right? Than I expected. So it's more about the comparatives. Here the comparatives is than. So we are trying, he is smarter than, right? So here than is a comparative statement in a subordinating conjunction. Than is a subordinating conjunction in this particular example. The seventh one is, do as you are told. Now, how do I identify do as you are told? So you should do as you are told. So point here is, how do I identify which is my conjunction? When I'm saying, do as you are told, I can understand that, to the extent, to the manner that you are being told. It is subordinating the ordinate. So, I hope that, you got some, ideas, some inputs regarding these conjunctions, types of conjunctions, where I, spoke about, coordinating conjunctions, subordinating conjunctions. And so you have an idea. Now we'll get into this, correlative, conjunctions, where you will have a better learning, better understanding on conjunctions. So yeah, we are done with this subordinating conjunction. We move into this correlative conjunction. Always, when you look at the words, always look at now what is the inference that you can get it, right? It talks about correlative, right? Correlative means combined relation. Correlative, here I'm talking about pairs of conjunctions. For instance, pairs of conjunctions can be both and, either or, for instance, just as, so, so many things. So let's get into some examples. Neither nor, not only but. So they are, more of, sort of, correlation between each of the conjunctions. So let's look into the examples and find out which is the correlating conjunction in this in a sentence. Both the shoes and the dress were completely overpriced. Very sad. Both the shoes and the dress were completely overpriced. Now, when I'm looking at the sentence, when I'm saying both the shoes and the dress were completely overpriced, I'm trying to draw a line of correlating this. And when I'm saying both the shoes and the dress, so which means both and, right? We are trying to equally compare. Both and the two pairs were completely overpriced. Next example, I would say that they should either change their strategy or just forfeit the game. So condition comes here. They should either change their strategy or just forfeit the game. Forfeit means give it up, give it the game, right? So they should either change their strategy or just forfeit the game. So yeah, the correlative conjunction you need to identify, as I said, it comes in pair, either or. So where does it either or comes? It is, they should either change their strategy or just forfeit the game. Wonderful. Next sentence as we go. Just as she was, as she loves hiking, so she enjoys traveling as well. Now, how do I really identify what is my correlative conjunction? Just as or so. Just as she loves hiking, so she enjoys traveling as well. So both are being correlated with this conjunction, one clause to another clause. Next statement, we would say that he neither helps around the house nor does he look for a job. Very bad. You should at least do this stuff. So it is again, we are talking about correlative conjunction in this particular sentence. He neither helps, very bad, helps around the house, nor does he look for a job. It's neither nor, right? It's a negative statement. Neither he does this, nor he does that. So next statement would be, not only does he play the lead guitar, but he is also the band's songwriter. Now you can look at the word, right? Not only does he play the lead guitar, wonderful, but he also plays this band's songwriter. So two things he does: he plays the guitar and also he plays the songwriter. So not only and but is it correlative conjunction. The last example of a correlating conjunction is, it doesn't matter whether the roses are fresh or if they are drooping them. So point here is that yeah, so as I said, these are the a few examples of this correlative conjunctions where they are in pairs. For instance, neither nor, either or, just as so. So these are, for instance, as I said, there are a few things that about correlating conjunctions. So again, we'll do some exercises on this correlating conjunctions. All right, so we'll get into this particular example. For instance, we say that, let's get into exercises. We learned what is conjunctions, what are the classification of conjunctions, and based on that learning, let's try to use that learning into application. So let's apply what we learned. So first question is, be just dash fear not. So how do you really identify what kind of a connecting word has to come in this particular sentence, right? What it is. Be just dash fear not. You said but, if, no. Look at the be just, be yourself, right? Be just and fear not. Two things, be just and fear not. We are trying to connect with the conjunction as and. It is about equal importance. Be just and fear not. Next statement is, I ran fast dash I missed the train. It's so sad, you ran fast dash you missed the train. I already given the hint on this. I ran fast dash I missed the train. Yes, you did run fast, but the point is you missed the train. So the point here is but, which is that you are having a contrasting statement or an opposition, because you missed the train on top of running fast. The last or the third one is, he fled dash he was afraid. When I'm saying he fled dash he was afraid, when I'm saying this, he fled dash he was afraid. He was afraid and he fled. So you could understand why he fled. There should be a reason. I've already given the answer for you. The reason here is the connecting junction is for. For should be your connecting junction when it comes to this particular sentence, because he was afraid. That is the reason he fled. He fled for he was afraid. For is always because reason, right? Next is, make haste dash you will be late. So it says that make haste dash or I'm sorry, dash you will be late. So be make haste or you will be late. So it is very clear. If you're haste, you'll be late. I mean, make haste, otherwise you'll be late. So what is the right conjunction to this word? So it clearly say that make haste or you will be late. Okay, I think I've wrongly given this one. Dash you will not succeed unless you dash you try you will not succeed. Very simple. Unless you try, yes, unless you try you will not succeed. Except you don't try, you're not going to succeed. It's very simple. You have to try, because you're the exception there, because you have to try and you have to succeed. So unless you try, you succeed. Next is, strike the iron dash it is hot. So it's a pretty a useful phrase that we use it. Strike the iron dash it is hot. When we say that, to strike, when the time is right, strike it. So that's the point. Strike the iron dash it is hot. When when we say strike the iron, dash it is hot. What is the right time? Yeah, I've already said the word. What is the time to strike it? Time, right? So until it is hot, you can strike the iron. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense, because otherwise the iron cannot be struck well, right? So next, particular sentence will be like, you will not succeed, dash, you work harder. You will not succeed, dash, you work harder. Very simple again, you will not succeed. Your success is based on your hard work. So what happens? You will not succeed unless, right? Yes, unless you work harder, you will not succeed. The last one is, we arrived, dash, you had gone. So what is it? We arrived, dash, you had gone. Again, so sad. We arrived and dash, you had gone. How do I really connect? What is that in a particular connecting junction to this particular word that's missing in this sentence? We arrived. We arrived. Yes, I'm trying to make you to look into the exact missing word in the sentence. I want you to guess out the word. So we arrived, dash, you had gone. Yes, if you have said we arrived after you had gone, that's the time, right? Following you had gone. I hope that you learned few pedestal of the conjunction, the basics, the rudimentaries of conjunctions, what conjunctions are, what conjunctions are classified, how conjunctions plays a role in your grammar syntactically, how you can identify the conjunctions. We try to classify the conjunctions. We also did some examples on the conjunctions, on the coordinating conjunctions, subordinating conjunctions, on the correlative conjunctions. We also explained what are coordinating conjunctions, which I said it's more about having the equal rank, equal priority. Then I also said that subordinating conjunctions, which has a dependent clause and independent clause, and the dependent clause will always depend upon the independent clause. So we did say on that. We also said about correlative conjunctions, where I said that correlative conjunctions are about which comes in pairs, either or, neither nor, and a few examples that we try to run through it. Then also I said about a few exercises that was being taken about this conjunctions. I hope that you got some inputs pertinent to this meaningful links, which was on conjunctions and on how you can make your English better, how grammatically you can be correct when it comes to coining a sentence, how grammatically you can be correct when it comes to writing a sentence. So we did focus on this particular aspect about conjunction. I hope that you had some good learning about conjunctions, and how this learning can be useful when it comes to your verbal aptitude, because when your verbal aptitude, you'll be asked questions where you have to spot the error or try to do the correction on the sentences. I hope that you had a good learning about this particular sessions, which was on meaningful links, on conjunctions. I hope that the sessions will really make you to become good in grammar, because people have a perception that grammar is difficult. But I'll tell you what, with a time of understanding the rudimentary aspect of the learning of the grammar, which is the 4 parts of speech. If one of this part of speech was what we spoken about it, once you make this parts of speech, when you try to connect all these parts of speech, when you try to conjunct all the parts of speak, you try to become a better learner in English. You try to speak much more better with meaningful sentences. I hope that you learned with a lot of learning into it. Thanks for watching this particular session. We'll be coming back with many more sessions on this. Thank you.